I'm Jay from the Starling Tribune, a podcast member of the GonnaGeek network, just like the one that you're listening to right now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out all other podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness starts in 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to Crimson Comet, a fan podcast about the TV show dedicated to the Scarlet Speedster himself, CW's The Flash. Welcome to episode 21 of Crimson Comet. This week we'll be discussing The Flash Season 1, Episode 17, Tricksters. I'm your host, Haley, aka Awesome Engineering Girl.
I'm John, aka Lobster.
And I'm Will, aka Rum Daddy.
And I'm special guest John D, aka Wing.
God damn it, who left the door open?
Who said you're so special?
Well, who invited him in? Gunther! Was Gunther watching the door again?
Gunther was getting your coffee.
Yeah, got me Irish coffee. I like Gunther.
Gunther's actually French-Canadian. He let him in.
That's why we keep Gunther around. He does the coffee runs.
He does the coffee runs, but he doesn't guard the front door. That's how Wing got in.
Yep.
Wait, he does the coffee run, so Gunther is actually the Flash because he's going from Montreal to California to wherever you guys are. Damn, really fast.
I get the coffee runs sometimes.
Oh, there we go. And we're back, ladies and gentlemen.
Poop jokes, guys. We got it.
Splatty Patty.
Splatty Patty. Thanks to Rick, that's going to be your nickname for the rest of the show.
If you'd like to contact us, I don't know why you would. You can find all of our information on our website, crimsoncometpodcast.com. You can find us on Twitter, @CrimsonPodcast, Facebook, Crimson Comet Podcast, YouTube, Crimson Comet, and we have a voicemail line, 423-FLASH-53. That's 423-352-7453. You can also send us an email, crimsoncomet@GonnaGeek.com, and you can find our forums at forums.GonnaGeek.com or by searching for GonnaGeek on the Tapatalk app.
Tapatalk.
And if you call the voicemail, make sure you dial the right number because we've heard that somebody has a really weird message and we did not get it.
Yeah, we got a call in that apparently wasn't to the right number from Rick Rifle, who occasionally hosts with me on Small Screen. And he was complaining about Lobster over here having been very posh and going to a cheese tasting.
Yes.
And then going to go shopping at a Walmart immediately thereafter.
Did you buy cheese at Walmart?
No.
No, I don't think he made it past the bathroom.
No.
Yeah.
I was actually, ironically, I was looking for the Flash 90s DVDs.
Oh, yeah?
Because somebody told me that a Walmart had them. I think that was on the cast. Somebody called in to say they found them there. So I was like, oh, I want to stop at this Walmart and see if they have the DVDs. And I was in the back in the electronics section. And I was like, oh, no. So I went to the restroom that was in that vicinity and desecrated it.
And that is why Lobster is now referred to as Splatty Patty.
All right, I'll take it.
For those of you that are interested, you can now listen to us on Spreaker or Stitcher. So you should check out those apps.
Spreaker?
Spreaker.
That's not even a word.
I didn't even make that up, guys.
How do you get on Spreaker?
You submit your feed to Spreaker.
You take speed, and then you're like a tweaker, but you're a spreaker.
I thought you were going for Streaker, but okay, sure.
Yes, you take off all your clothes.
Yeah, Spreaker is the network for the brown streak. That's it?
Yes.
Okay, so this is episode 21 of our show,
We're 21 now?
which means this show is now old enough to drink in the United States. So
Woo-hoo!
we're all celebrating that
Yeah,
fact.
we're all day drinking.
We're recording in the morning and we're all having Irish coffee and
Yeah.
something around this. So, no, we're not alcoholic. We're just happy people.
We're not oncolic?
No,
Oncolic.
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 Alcoholic.
I'm French, okay?
No, you're not.
No, you're not French or Quebecois.
That's true!
This episode might need subtitles.
We're castaholics, you guys.
This episode's not gonna have H's, but you've been warned.
Too bad there's 2 in the title.
Right?
Yeah, oh god, dear god. You guys are doing this on purpose.
I want you to say Honda Accord.
Honda Accord?
Very nice. Usually you swap the H's on that.
Yeah, usually I say Honda Accord.
Yeah, which kills me.
It's Dr. Ooh, come on.
It's a show about a time-traveling owl.
But talking about time travel, the start of this show, this particular episode is one of my
Yes.
favorite
so
scene ever. That fight that we've seen at super speed,
Right.
getting to actually see it and getting to see Barry getting his ass swoop, because I don't think he gets one punch in.
No, he does. He does.
Yeah, he punched him that one time that knocked him over Little Barry instead of into him.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what caused the little bit of the blood that they picked up later on that said it doesn't belong to Dr. Wells. But yes, that fight was fucking awesome.
And I think this is something that we're going to see again and again because they're going to completely break it down and we're going to see many different versions of it, I think. We're going to see the version where the mom gets killed. We're going to see the version where the mom doesn't get killed. We're going to see this from all different angles, which I think is really fun. And this is something I thought they'd wait until maybe like the season finale to show us. But no, this episode just randomly starts with it, which was awesome.
Which was amazing. Which, by the way, how does he kill the mom? We didn't see that. They fought around her.
I think it's when Barry takes young Barry away, and that leaves the mother exposed. Because, I mean, we know that Barry's the true target, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right. But there's no reason to kill the mother once Barry's already born. I have no idea why he even bothered to kill her.
Because he's a dick.
Because that's a woman that's been dead for centuries. Come on.
Yeah.
Apparently. Whatever.
That seems to be his excuses for everything.
Yeah.
It's like, all this already happened. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. When the Reverse Flash is slowing down and losing steam and he takes his mask off, the first time I'm like, that's not Tom Cavanaugh. Is that supposed to be a young Tom Cavanaugh? What's going on?
Yeah, the first time I was like, wait, did future Tom Cavanaugh have blonde hair and a different face?
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, I didn't even notice the face that much. I just noticed the hair was lighter. And I was like,
Right.
oh, they must have, de-aged him and it looks weird.
I noticed the chin. I was like, that's not the right chin.
I thought for a second it was Eddie, but then I'm like, no, that's not Eddie.
But he does look more like Eddie.
Yes.
He does look more like Eddie.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, it is Eddie's great-great-great-great-grandson, so.
Right.
And for a second, I thought that was Mark Hamill. I was like, what?
What?
What? What? Oh, dear God, no.
No, and the actor who played Thawne,
Tom.
Eobard Thawne.
Eobard Thawne, I've seen him in a bunch of other things before,
Yeah.
but
Me
I'm
too.
just like, why would they cast him to play a young Tom Cavanaugh?
They're like the same age.
I know,
Yeah.
exactly.
All that went through my head too during all the show until the end when you see the DNA soup thing, and I'm like, ugh,
Yeah.
this is weird.
What did he do with that body?
That's what I was thinking.
Oh, the same thing the Arrow did with his sidekick last week. Nothing.
Yeah. He got a shopping cart and took him somewhere. Threw him in a shopping cart.
I'd never leave you, buddy.
I think in the trailer for the rest of the season, they showed somebody digging up a body, and you couldn't tell what it was, but I think they're going to find the body.
Yeah, I think that's in the crossover thing, actually, because I think Quentin was digging the body, so.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so excited for where this is all going to go.
I haven't seen this week's Arrow yet, so I have no idea what's going on there.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Well, there's big stuff,
good stuff.
Oh, good.
but in the trail, did you guys watch the trailer for the rest of the season
Yes.
of The Flash?
Yes.
There's like crossover stuff galore. You get to see Joe and Captain Lance working together.
Which will be really interesting.
I'm the Black Canary. Really?
What? I love you.
Oh, that's amazing.
Nobody has a secret identity. Nobody.
No.
Yeah.
Except
No.
for fucking Iris, who she is Lois Lane stupid at this point.
Yes, she
Iris
is.
is Lois Lane retarded at this point.
I thought that she was just going to like sneak up behind him, just pull his mask off when he was looking at the laptop.
No, I thought she was gonna, have had her webcam on.
Oh.
Oh, that would have been nice.
I mean, she grew up with him. Wing, I've met you less than a handful of times. Same thing with Haley. John, you and I have not seen each other face to face. But if I saw Wing or Haley walking down the street, I know them well enough that I could recognize their body and the way they walk, that I'd be like, oh, look, there they are.
You never recognized me as Batman, so that your argument doesn't work.
Oh, please.
Is it just me, or do you guys see, wing doppelgangers all the time? Because I do. It's the weirdest thing.
Seriously, I have
That is kind of
doppelgangers?
weird.
Yeah, I'm not the only person that has said this before. I've had other people that we know say, yeah, I saw somebody that looked just like Wing today, too.
There are mini copies.
How do you think he's on so many casts?
It all makes sense now. He's Canadian. Orphan Black takes place in Canada.
Right.
He's a clone.
Yeah, of course I am. But all my clones are all weird. You should see the female version of me. It's amazing.
No, thank you.
It would look like you with a wig.
So like the Black Canary?
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
canary wig. That one.
It's a canary wig.
Or the Stephen Amell flashback wig.
But yeah, Iris is an idiot. She's the only one who doesn't know who the Flash is at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. And why tell Eddie? I didn't get why he had to tell his secret identity to get him on board with that lie. He could have just been as the Flash there and saying, we need to say that. No. I need to take my mask off. Like, you guys don't understand the point of secret identity at
No,
all.
but you know what? I think the reason they told Eddie was because in future episodes, there's going to be some kind of something's going to happen with the relationship between Barry and Eddie where Eddie's going to want revenge or some shit like that was going to carry down through Eddie's ancestors, and that's why you're going to end up with Thawne.
Ooh, what if at some point Barry decides, to prevent Eobard Thawne from ever doing all this stuff he's going to do, he has to kill Eddie.
There you go.
So what's really going to happen is they're going to become total bros, and then he's
Or
going
at least, like, take away his ability to have children.
Yeah. He's going to Cisco Eddie's junk.
Oh, they have a gun, which just kills your swimmers. Pooh.
Why not? Cisco invents guns for everything else. Last week he invented a gold gun.
Maybe it'll be like anti-Viagra.
Maybe he'll just point the gold gun at him. It's for the greater good.
It's for the greater good. You're never going to get laid anymore. Then you become really mad. I'm just saying,
True.
that's a good reason to become a supervillain.
Do you want supervillains? Because that's how you get supervillains.
But I'm still thinking that Eddie is going to become a version of the Reverse Flash, because right now we know there's only one. Okay, now we've established that. We understand why the DNA is not the same and all that stuff. Okay, but in the greater canon of the Flash, there is like 2 or 3 Reverse
There's like
Flash.
5, I think.
There you go. So this is the Eddie Town version, but when are we getting the Professor Zoom version and all that? So it could be a generational thing.
Well, can we just talk about the 2 words that we got from this episode that make all the difference in the world? Speed Force.
Right?
Yes!
Okay, I think they used Speed Force before when it was just Wells talking to Gideon.
Yeah.
But this is the first time Barry's heard the term.
Yeah. It's like a speed force being some part of something greater.
Which I love that we had Force in the same episode that we had Mark Hamill saying, "I'm your father."
Oh, that line.
my God.
I laughed out loud so hard.
We all did.
Okay, is he really the father, or did just use Mark Hamill to do that?
No, I was watching that with Rick, and we had to pause it. We were laughing so hard and screaming at
I have watched a few YouTube clips, and I watched some of Mark Hamill as the Trickster in the 90s version. And as the 90s version of The Flash, you see him get it on with a girl who wants to be his sidekick, Prank.
Harley Quinn?
No, basically, yeah, but
Yeah.
she calls herself Prank, and so you see them get it on, and that was 25 years ago, so if you think that this guy's about, 25, then maybe it works, right?
Right.
But Mark Hamill had an interesting answer. If you get the old theory that the Flash actually happened, the 90s shows, says, yes, it's the same character, but just take the Flash out. He got stopped by cops.
Right.
But
Right.
it's the same thing basically happened.
Yeah.
So your explanation right there makes a lot of sense at this point.
I've been talking on the cast before where I always thought that they were connected, where this Flash is actually a sequel to the old Flash and that his dad was the Flash, but they're not going down that. But it would have been a really cool storyline had they done that.
I mean, I think it would be an interesting twist that they could do if they do like a multiverse story where you have the Flash going back in time to save his mother, but instead of whatever happened with the Reverse Flash and stuff, his father gets the Speed Force powers instead.
Yeah, well, what if Barry and his mother are killed, and then his father becomes a crime fighter?
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I like
and
that.
then
theory.
also, Mark Hamill's not the first character that we see in this Flash that came from the original Flash. There was the other one, the woman who played the original Flash's girlfriend. She came back in this version of the Flash playing the same character.
The scientist of Mercury Labs.
Exactly. She played the same woman, same character. So that's why I thought it was all connected, yeah.
My favorite line of this show. So you could find him, cut his head, and throw it back at him. It's like,
What is that from?
I've seen an interview with Mark Hamill. It's like one of his acting coach that used to say that. So we just improvised it on the set.
Cut off his head and throw it at his face or something like that. Yeah, because I wrote that down.
That was really funny.
Cut off his head and throw it right in his face. There were some great quotes in this episode.
You know what another one of his great lines was? A day without casualties would be like the Cubs winning the pennant. It'll never happen.
You're killing me. You're killing me.
Nice.
I wrote it just because I knew Will was on the cast. I was like,
Yep, me too.
You guys are... I grew up in Wrigleyville in Chicago, and the Cubs, it's a heartache. It's hard being a Cubs fan, let me tell you. It's nothing but pure heartache.
and if you come to Geecation, you're probably going to see the Cubs lose live.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Who are they playing? Who's going to beat them? I don't know. We'll have to
I
look
don't
into
know.
that.
I don't know baseball.
Actually, I think it's like the Pirates or something, so we have a good chance of winning.
No, somebody we don't care about.
Yeah, exactly. But Haley's going to go with her...
All my Cardinals gear.
Yeah.
Can I take a hockey jersey to a ball game?
Probably be kind of hot.
Yeah, it'd be really hot.
Well, I can live with it. I have a nice black Hawk shirt. I'll rock
Yeah,
it.
sure, you do that. It'll be great.
Yeah, no problem. I don't want to be sitting next to you.
It's probably going to be,
The
what, like
stank.
90, 100 degrees? Awesome.
Well,
It's
no,
May.
in
It's not
May-
going to be that bad.
No, it gets that bad in August, not May.
Okay.
In May, it'll probably be in like the 70s. I don't know. It's really cold there right now, so you never know. Chicago's weird.
Yeah.
Don't go to Chicago in August. It's so smooshy.
Don't really go anywhere in August.
No, the worst times to go to Chicago, January, February. The worst.
But the best time to go to Chicago is the weekend of May 17th. I'm just saying.
Yes.
You should. You should. And you should send us an email. Tell us that you're coming. That would be great.
That would be awesome.
Geekation@GonnaGeek.com.
It's a lot of fun, trust me.
Yep.
That was my plug.
Woohoo!
I'll just sit over here being sad.
Oh.
We'll Skype you in, dude. It'll be
That's
fine.
right.
Seriously.
Yeah, on our phone all weekend. The bill's going to be amazing.
We'll figure something
We'll
out.
have to work on that hologram technology like Will's used for Gideon.
Okay. Is that computer built in a suit?
I think
mean-
so. Yes.
I guess that for the viewer, we needed some visual representation so we understood, but there is no reason why he had to look at that face and not just
Yes.
listen in his
Yes,
earpiece.
he did. We had to see it. It was cool.
Also, Morena Baccarin. So
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
the reason
okay.
Gideon exists is so we can get info dumps without him monologuing to himself.
Yeah.
I agree with that, and I still think that there's a Booster Gold connection somewhere in there. Just saying.
Possibly.
So, I mean, let's kind of like walk through this storyline first, the flashback storyline, and then do the Trickster stuff.
Okay.
Which, by the way, what was great about this episode is that both the A and the B stories were both fantastic. So I couldn't decide which one's the A and which one's the B. They were
And
so
if
great.
you look at the episode titled Tricksters, I think that they both refer to, both plot lines deal with tricksters, because in mythology, tricksters are known for their both great intellect and secret knowledge, which Wells clearly has, or Thawne clearly has, and their ability to shapeshift. And actually, some trickster stories deal with kind of like a dual cosmology, where it's a good versus evil, like Thor versus Loki, almost Loki being the trickster of evil, and then Thor being the force for good. So you can kind of look at the Flash and the Reverse Flash in the same way. So it's all very interesting.
A lot of duality.
Yeah, Loki is the trickster's god. So
Yep. So, what do you think happens? Now, he's trapped back in time, and he knows that Wells is somebody important who's going to create this particle accelerator in, 2020 is
Yep.
what he said?
yes,
So, he needs that to happen sooner. So, how does he motivate the guy?
He
kills
kills
him.
him.
kills him and does the deed himself.
Kills his wife, and then kills him. Now, I was starting to think that maybe we'd see them work together, and then Wells is going to get the upper hand and actually make Thawne his slave, and that would explain how you kind of like saw two of them running around. But it turns out it's the other way, where Thawne just straight up kills Wells and steals his body in a really gross way.
Wait, Lobster. Why would you think that? Wells has said that he's a man out of time, like last week. So you had to know that he came from the 25th century or something.
I wanted to think there was more to Wells than just that he was Eobard Thawne.
Yeah, so I was thinking, like, did they get mashed up in a weird way, or
Like Firestormish.
Yeah, I thought they were Firestormish. Yes,
is
that I
Wells still in there somewhere?
agree. No.
No, because Wells was never in there. It's just his DNA.
Man.
Yeah, I think he's the Ilberton version, like Professor Zoom. He is a genius by himself.
Unless they do that stupid genetic memory thing, which isn't a real thing.
Yeah,
But
that would suck.
They might do it.
I think they're going to do it.
But he seems really intelligent and to have that kind of level of education. So he probably had studied the particle accelerator in the future and just knows how to replicate it.
Or does he absorb all of Wells' knowledge as well?
Well, here's why I think they're going to keep Wells in there, because at some point they're probably going to want to keep Tom Cavanaugh on the show, and they're going to have to separate the two of them, or they're going to have to figure out a way for him to control Thawne and still be Wells, because Wells is the good side of the duality and Thawne is the evil side, and I think that contractually the show's going to keep Tom Cavanaugh.
I don't think that we're going to see Tom Prime other than in flashbacks or flash forwards, whatever you want to call them. But once he's become Wells visually or physically, DNA-y, kind of stuff. I don't think he can go back to who he looked like.
I don't know. I think they're going to play with the timeline a lot. So we're going to start seeing alternate timelines and things like that.
Yeah, because if you want to bake your noodle, why does Barry battle the Ton Prime version of the Reverse Flash and not the Wells version of the Reverse Flash?
That's true.
Because it was a different timeline.
The way they play with time travel with just replacing the person instead of having two of them at the same time is really, really weird for me. I know it's a real theory, but...
Well, because in Dawn's timeline, the particle accelerator was built in 2020, and we know that it was turned on in 2014 in this timeline.
Yeah, and as well as I've said in the past, times always replace one catastrophe with another one, so now it's the crisis thing instead that's going to happen in 2020. The paper thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You all caught that.
It's so crazy.
Time travel makes my head hurt.
You guys are making my ears bleed.
Yeah, well, the girl on the Doctor Who podcast? Seriously?
Yeah,
Seriously?
But there aren't any consequences of time travel on Doctor Who.
Fair enough.
So, if you look at the original timeline, and the reactor came online in 2020, what created the Flash?
The reactor, he became the Flash in 2020.
He was 6 years older.
So if you look at the timeline, Barry is the first speedster, period. Right?
Right.
Yes.
So Barry's the very first speedster. Thawne becomes a speedster how many hundreds of years later?
Many.
25th century, so 400?
Like 500 years later.
Yeah.
But he has the ability to travel back in time to meet the first speedster, which is Barry. So he's going to affect... It's kind of like... It's a weird paradox because it's the opposite of going back in time and killing your grandfather, therefore you never being born. Because Barry is the first speedster... He's created the guy who goes back in time to create himself.
Yes.
Yes.
Now my head hurts.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But the reason that Eobard Thawne knows so much about the accelerator and is able to recreate it is because he was such a fanboy of the Flash. So he knew everything about him.
They have a Flash museum in the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he knew everything about the accident that created the Flash. So that's how he was able to recreate it.
Now I want Bart Allen.
Because without creating that accident, he would never become the Reverse Flash.
Exactly.
I think we'll see how they recreate the accident in season 2 because they've already into that Wally West. And let's face it, if you have Wally West, you need to have the accident again.
True.
Like I said, I want Bart Allen. If they're playing with the 25th century, I want Bart Allen. I think that's why he went back in time to kill Barry because probably his main antagonist was Bart.
That's true.
And he goes to kill his ancestor.
Okay, fill me in. Who's Bart Allen?
The great-great-great-great-great-grandson of Barry Allen.
Okay.
Also a speedster.
Also a speedster.
The contemporary of the Flash in Thawne's time.
Yes.
Okay.
Also Kid Flash.
And in between the two, there was Wally West.
Right.
Yeah. Wally West was a more direct inheritor of the Flash title.
Yeah, when in the comic, when Barry dies, Kid Flash, which is Wally West, the same exact accident happened to him. Like in the comic, it's the same thing. Just take the mantle and become the Flash at this point. That has been all retcon in New 52, but whatever.
They hand-waved that.
Yeah, well, at least they got the skin color right in the New 52 now. Now, Wally West is an African-American. So that's going to work in this show really well.
Yeah.
Because he's like Iris's cousin or something, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, and Barry's girlfriend from last week, I don't remember her name, but...
Melise Zhao. Oh, that's the actress. Linda Park.
Linda Park is actually Wally's wife.
Yes.
Yeah, I knew that.
Oh.
And she's a speedster as well, so...
I did not know that.
I didn't know she was a speedster, but I knew that they were husband and wife.
If you're in that family, everybody is a speedster. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for Jesse Quick at some point.
See, now my head's really exploding.
Sorry.
In the year 2000.
But I like the guy they cast as Eobard Thawne, though. I think he's playing it really well, really removed, cold.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, he had like a Terminator vibe going on, too. When he like
did.
crashes the car and he's just like walking up all calm.
Yeah.
This woman has been dead for centuries.
To me, she's been dead for centuries.
Which is the same line he
He used to
killed.
Cisco, yeah.
Yep.
That's his excuses for everything.
Because he's a sociopath.
He totally is. So good. So good.
That would be Matt Letcher.
And he's been in a ton of stuff. He was on like Boardwalk
yeah.
Empire and...
Oh, he was on Boardwalk Empire.
Yeah. He was on Castle. He was in the movie Her, Scandal, Bent.
It wasn't her?
Her?
Who?
Not her.
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 No, her.
Her.
We pronounce
Her.
our H's here.
Her.
All of our H's.
All of our H's.
Yes, Haley.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about Reverse Flash and Thawne. We haven't really talked about the Trickster very much yet.
Well, he's a
I
Jedi.
can't wait.
Mark Hamill.
Has he been in anything before?
No, I think he's like a new guy, up and comer.
Okay.
He was in.
Well, he did that indie movie called Star Wars. You know, that's a little independent thing.
Never heard of it.
I hear he's got a new movie coming out.
Yeah, what?
It's like a stupid sci-fi thing.
Never catch on.
Is it part of a series? Because if it is, I'm going to have to catch up.
Yeah, it's like Star Trek something something.
I say start at the middle. You don't need to see the start.
It's a whole other conversation, but I would agree with you.
Start at 3. You're good at 3.
No!
Oh, I know where Mark Hamill. He played the Joker, right?
That's right.
Yes!
Yeah, you could definitely hear that in this episode.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he was brilliant. He chewed the scenery so perfectly.
He chewed it and spat it out right in the guy's face.
Oh, it was amazing.
But we have to give him something. He played the Trickster before he voiced the
Right.
Joker.
Right.
So, but the fact that they build a bunch of Joker reference in his character kind of bugged me. The thing where he got his psychiatrist kill himself, I was like, this is really more Jokery than Trickstery, but okay.
Well, it's also very Hannibal Lecter-y.
I was going to say,
Yes.
very Hannibal.
Yeah, well, they know that they're not going to get the rights for the Joker for the TV shows, so they're like, fine, we'll make our own Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And honestly, like, him playing the Trickster on the Flash TV series got him the job of playing the Joker on the Batman animated series, which he did for a lot of years, and then he does in the video games now, so...
But that's a urban legend, Lobster. That's not what happened. They cast him as he wanted to be on the TV show so badly on the animated series, so they got him like a bit part. And after meeting with him, they decided to move to the Joker because he was so good of a voice actor. They had never seen the Flash TV show.
Really?
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Trust me on Batman.
I
Trust me.
would have thought that Paul Dini would have been a fan of the Flash TV show.
No, he wasn't.
Huh.
You can find that on YouTube somewhere in interviews. He actually, Mark Hamill actually debunked the thing like last week, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then you snoped me, dude. I totally bought into it.
I Snoop the guy who was on the Gotham podcast.
That's why I'm
feel good.
splatty patty today.
But he was so fucking amazing. And the way they shot him, it was very Hannibal Lecter.
It was with the old glass thing and him like, that's my mask. That's my mask.
Make him take off my mask.
It's fun because they play off the comic book people. Because for me,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, he is gonna hate the guy that is taking his personality because that's what happened in the comic. He actually beat the crap out of the new Trickster, being like, don't take my name ever again. So I was like, okay, they're doing that old story. And when they team up, I'm like, oh, they got me.
Well, of course they had to team up. They're family.
Are they really? Or are you just saying that?
I kind of wondered if, he just found some impressionable kid and was like, yeah, you're totally my kid.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think he's actually his father.
Well, the fact that he delivered that line verbatim, exactly the same way, was every nerd who saw that spewed.
He cut off his hand and then said, I'm your father.
Yes, that's what happened. But yeah, that line was out of this world. That was amazing. I had the chills. I was just like, ooh.
You can't copyright that line.
No, you can't. Can't wait for that little indie movie at the end of the year.
Yep.
Still have no idea what you're talking about.
So then there's a party with the mayor.
This I love. Don't trust a waiter you're at a party and you see like two waiters laughing maniacally. That is never a good thing.
And you're going to take champagne off their tray.
Yep.
And these two guys have been on TV a lot in the last 2 days. Nobody recognized them. Nobody.
Well, what kind of security do they have at that party? Once again, I blame Gunther. Obviously, he was in charge of security for that party, where these two guys just showed up in tuxedos, grabbed champagne, and started serving it. Nobody who's catering the event is actually going to notice these two guys coming
Well,
in.
they probably killed all the other caterers.
And it's a bad week for mayors in the DC television universe. The mayor of Starling City just got killed, and the mayor of Central City got poisoned. Man.
Do not run for office.
Do not. It never ends well.
Okay, antidote. So 1 vial for like 100 people and all the same needle.
That wasn't very
That's
sanitary.
not very sanitary.
I'm glad that he called him out on that. Like, ew,
He's like,
gross.
that's not sanitary.
And his delivery, again, was perfect. But I have a quick question.
Everybody has AIDS.
Nice pull, sir.
Why did the Trickster take Henry?
Because he's the father of a cop.
Because he knew
Yeah.
Barry worked for the police department because Barry
Yeah.
came and talked to him.
And he obviously have a lot of access to TV because he knows Breaking Bad,
Yeah.
Speed, and all that stuff.
Right, but he doesn't know that Barry's the Flash.
No, he was just taking him because he wanted something to hold against the cops.
Yeah, leverage.
It wasn't about the Flash.
He could have taken anybody. I'm just saying it was rather convenient that he took Henry.
Because plot, Will. Didn't you read the script?
Well, his cell is right down the hall, and he knew that it was Barry's father, and he knew that that was leverage because Barry worked for the police department.
Right, and he also probably knew that Henry had helped the police earlier in the year.
Right, now here's the other thing. Henry's cell was right down the hall. However, when Barry first got there, he was like, I've never seen this wing of the prison. What is this?
Well, you walk past it, and then you go down the secret stairway.
Yeah.
You walk
Yeah.
past his cell, and then you go down the secret passageway behind the bookcase.
And the real meta answer to this is that Mark Hamill asked to work with John Wesley Shipp, I think is his name,
Yes.
to have a scene with him, and that's why he accepted the role. So they had to build something in there. Yeah.
Okay, so the Trickster puts the speed bracelet on Barry.
Yeah.
Have you seen the movie Speed? Keanu Reeves, Sandra Bullock. You're the boss. This is the bomb.
No, I haven't.
It's so great. 600 miles
Wait,
an hour.
what? You haven't seen Speed?
No, I haven't.
Why does my head explode every time you say something like that again? Oh, dear God.
it's on her list. We've just come to accept
It is. Would you chill out?
I think one of my favorite lines was Mark Hamill saying, run, 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 run.
Run, 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 run!
And then Barry runs through a motherfucking truck. Through a truck.
Through a truck that could have been carrying gasoline, which should have
It
exploded.
looked like it was. But
Yes, it's like, find a wall. He finds a cistern truck that's super long to go through. I'm like, I would have chosen a wall. I'm just saying.
Yeah, exactly. A wall, a garbage can, something. Not a big, I'm about to explode. I'm going to run right through a gas truck.
Well, I guess the thing is, if running through a wall, like, you don't know what's on the other side of the wall, it could be somebody's, like, living room or something. So maybe he didn't want to try that.
Okay, and the other thing, shouldn't the suit be with the bracelet and should he be naked at the end?
I think the suit, as we're going to find out, because he wears it when he runs so much, it's more influenced by the Speed Force
imbued with the speed force itself.
than just something that, like, got slapped onto his wrist. And I think that's why when you see Wells charging the suit, like, he's charging the suit. He's not charging himself.
Yeah.
Like, I think the suit has more to do with it than just a piece of clothing.
Yeah, but the suit is built by Cisco, not Tom.
Yeah, but I think he probably had some notes.
Yeah, it has more to do with
He had notes.
Barry's abilities, I think, than just like a piece of clothing would. Because he wears it all the time when he runs, and at least that's my theory, is that it gets, like Haley said, imbued with the Speed Force, or it's connected more.
And also, they aren't allowed to show nudity on broadcast television.
And they already kind of did that with the Plastique episode,
Mhm.
where, like, his suit disappears or gets disintegrated.
Yeah. The other thing, couldn't he just like phase the bracelet out of his, since he can't phase through stuff, out of himself?
He didn't know he could do that until now.
Or what if he just, like, spun his arm around really fast? Like, his arm was moving at 600 miles an hour, but he was standing still?
Yeah, I thought about that too.
And he was slapping the Trickster while he did it.
Yeah, just slapping him. He's like, oh, 600 miles an hour. Slap, 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 slap.
Oh, that's a good reason to shit your pants, though.
Yeah.
It would be like the Three Stooges. He'd be slapping both Tricksters.
Yeah.
That's hysterical.
Thank God we don't write for that show.
We could write our
I
own
think
show.
you mean too bad.
Yeah, okay, too bad. But yeah, Mark Hamill was a stroke of genius to be able to get him back.
Yeah.
He's perfect in this, and he's having
So
this
good.
whole like comeback right now. This
Yeah.
Sylvester Stallone
Resurgence,
moment.
yeah. He's having a big resurgence. It's great. Don't compare him to Stallone.
Stallone is back. Come on.
And he's somebody that, like, you don't see him that much. It's not like you're saturated with seeing Mark Hamill everywhere, but you enjoy him, and when he does, like, show up and do a TV show or something, like, you pay attention because it's Mark Hamill.
Yeah, when I saw him show up in Kingsman, I was like, seriously? Okay, this is great.
I haven't seen Kingsman yet.
Spoilers!
An actor plays in a movie. Oh, spoilers.
There's an
God.
actor in the movie who's acted in other things that you may or may not have heard of.
I want to see it. Now I'm going to have to go and see it this weekend.
Yeah.
I'll just take Rick and wheel him into the theater.
What's wrong with you? You haven't seen Kingsman yet. God.
I have things happen.
Things.
Life, stuff.
Life.
I haven't been to a movie theater in ages. So
Another question. The Trickster is still alive at the end of the show. Are we going to see him again?
I hope so.
Yeah.
oh, please.
Season 2.
Is he going to join the Rogues?
Oh, that would be great.
No. He's too big to have to share the limelight. He's Mark Hamill.
He probably does not play well with others.
Well, but maybe the son or whatever, baby Trickster.
I don't like Baby Trickster. I want to see Mark Hamill. And I want Mark Hamill to have his own episode. I don't want him to be part of the Rogues.
I mean, I think it would be fun to see him and Captain Cold chew the scenery together.
Oh, dear God. That would be so Amy and awesome.
There would be nothing left of the set.
No, they would chew all that set and
It would
spit
just
it
be
out.
gone. Yeah, okay, we have those two, and then just invite John Barrowman in, and the three of them together, the set will be in ruins. Just gone.
Oh, that would be awesome, though.
God, that would be hysterical seeing the three of them compete against each other and how bad they could chew the scenery.
But that would work. They're all villains.
Yeah.
You could bring Thawne in because he joins the Rogues eventually. It would be great.
Well, with this spin-off that they're doing right now, I'm kind of hoping that they're going to build, if they're building I'm going to call it Justice Society kind of show, I want them to build a Evil League of Evil version of
Right.
them,
Yeah.
Yeah, I rewatched Dr. Horrible. It's still always great.
It is always
Bad horse, he's bad. The thoroughbred of sin.
I'm going to WonderCon. This weekend, and they close WonderCon every year by doing a Dr. Horrible sing-along.
Oh, nice.
You gonna belt it out?
Yeah, it's always a lot of fun.
Got the application that you just sent in.
Can't you guys watch that show without singing now?
No.
No.
Shh. Lobster has to finish. Once he starts
No,
singing
I'm
something,
done.
he has to finish it.
I'm done.
It's fine. Okay, so Barry's dad gets to go down to the Arrow Cave. Or no, the Flash Cave, sorry.
The Flash Cave.
Flash
Is
Cave.
it a cave or it's just a
Whatever.
room?
It's not
It's a
cave.
well-lit room, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he says, what does it feel like when you're running down the street like a bat out of hell? Like he doesn't know.
Right.
True. But I think that's it. The only reason why this line is there is that there's no feeling like it. And at the end, he explained
Yeah.
like when Wells was talking to me, he
Right.
knew how it
He knew what it felt
He
like.
knew exactly what it felt like. Harrison Wells is the Reverse Flash.
Bum, bum, bum.
Credits.
By the way, I love the Harrison Wells speech when he explained about the Speed Force.
Yeah.
That was...
The chafing that you get, that chafing feeling right between your legs,
You have to go home and you have to put a cream on it.
butt balm.
bloody nipples.
I'm not kidding you. I think it's called butt balm.
Mhm.
And when I did the AIDS life cycle ride from San Francisco to LA, it's a big tube and it's called butt balm, and everybody used to call it butt butter.
This is why nobody should ever work out. You got bloody nipples, chafing, butt balm.
And you would have to slather your thighs with butt balm because the chafing would just hurt too much. I mean, you're riding for 600 miles. After a while, it starts like, you're on your bike saddle for 600 miles, 7 days. After a while, it starts hurting.
And this is why you shouldn't have superheroes running around forcing people to share needles. You wouldn't need to have these AIDS charity events.
Exactly.
You're laughing about the bloody nipples, but yeah, I run once a marathon. It's true thing. You
I
laugh
know.
at people and you're like, no, that's not gonna happen. And then you're 30 kilometers in and you're like, oh dear God.
Turdy.
That's why you wear Band-Aids.
Yeah.
I didn't know better at that
You
point.
can't just
I
wear a
know.
regular t-shirt.
What, did you just get up one day and decide, I'm going to run a marathon and go? You usually
Did you see that episode of How I Met Your Mother where Barney Stinson was like, oh, I'll just go run a marathon?
Hey, I used to be young and LT and all that stuff. Now I'm old, I drink and I forget.
That you're not.
One does not merely run a marathon.
Unless you get struck by lightning, then you can do it.
Yeah, I got struck by lightning and I got abs.
I had a cousin who got struck by lightning. He just got a stutter.
Nice pull. Oh, I love this cast.
Maybe it's the lightning psychosis.
Yeah.
Causes the stutter.
Oh, but that's the best excuses ever. Every time you do something shitty, like
Lightning
it's the
psychosis.
It's the lightning. You know, I feel it around all the atom of my body.
It's kind of too bad because they just used that line on Eddie, and now he knows the truth.
I know.
Where, like, if they had kept that gag going...
Well, no, they could still use it on Iris.
That's true.
Because she's never going to learn the truth.
No.
She's an idiot.
Iris is dumb. Just saying. Oh yeah, this guy just met a girl and decided to go like on the other end of the world write his memoir or something.
Why would Mason move to Brazil?
Do you think she bought it? Yeah, I think she does.
Yeah, she's like, oh, okay, sure, all right. Idiot.
And she's a reporter? She's supposed to investigate stuff? Seriously?
What kind of newspaper is called the Picture News anyways?
It's for people that are, illiterate. They're like, well, I don't want to read. I can't read the paper. Can you just show it to me in pictures?
We used to call it the Wordy News, but sales were awful.
It's actually a comic book company. They just draw the news for you.
It's just political cartoons.
Well, she's supposed to be an investigator, and so is Lois Lane. And they're both idiots.
I don't know. In the last Superman, Lois Lane catch up pretty well.
Yeah.
I love that whole thing. Somebody posted on from YouTube, that there's a scene from Lois and Clark where the supervillain just goes on and goes, how big of an idiot are you?
Yep.
Look, glasses, no glasses, glasses, no glasses. You go down in history as being the world's biggest idiot.
Well, and Iris is the only person concerned about Dick Pulitzer. Like, everybody else is just like, oh whatever.
He just left,
he's up to his
fine.
old tricks.
He's just not there. Whatever.
Dick Pulitzer was a dick.
But he won a Pulitzer. 2 of them.
We're very well aware of that.
He's hiking the Amazon.
With some new chick.
Yep.
Yep.
He's living off the grid.
Can I say what one of my favorite lines is?
Go for it.
No.
This will be my masterpiece, my Mona Lisa, my Breaking Bad season 5.
He has access to way too much TV. And he explains it like, yeah, after I stopped killing guards, they gave me TV.
Right.
Wow, okay.
What about the Felicity level caliber scrambler he was using?
Oh, brilliant.
That was brilliant.
I mean, she's set the benchmark for technology, computer ability. It's Felicity level.
Why don't they ever call her when they're having issues? Jeez.
Well, they don't know where to find her. Is she working for Palmer? Is she working for Ollie? What's going on?
Too bad she doesn't have a cell phone.
It's the same thing as last week in Arrow when they're like, you can't leave town because they're watching everything. And I was like, call the Flash.
Yeah.
He's going to get you out of town in a flash. Just saying.
Oh, Arrow, the show that has no problem traveling from one city to a completely other country in the Himalayas in like 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's like just around the corner. Come on.
Yeah.
Dude.
I love that they're like in the Himalayas. And it's like, I'm going back to Starling City. And all of a sudden, they're in Starling City.
I would like to see how they go to customs with all that gear all the time.
Right?
It's like, I have bows and arrows and we have guns.
Swords.
He made the bow and arrow out of something, like stuff from the hotel room that one time. That was great.
And now he has the one that collapses, so I guess he can just put it in his
Yeah, but
pocket.
the arrows don't collapse.
No, but what I do love is that the one show that's so guilty of this starts off when they travel to Japan, or is it? He turns to him and goes, oh, you've never been on a plane before. Because he goes to grab his bow and arrow.
Yeah.
To get on the plane, and he's like, yeah, no.
No, that's not gonna happen. But Nissa's go back and forth like in a whim all the time. She's like, oh, I'm mad with my father. I'm gonna go to Starling City. It's like, why?
She's having a rebellious phase.
I guess. And she's like, okay, I can have your sister, so now I want you. It's like, damn.
Well, we're also talking about the show where an 18-year-old right out of high school decides to open up her own nightclub.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and learn to fight super well in 6 months. She's really good at stuff. She's really, really good at stuff. I'm just saying.
Seriously, she should be the heir to the demon.
She should. Yes, agreed. At this point.
Very true.
But we're not talking about the Flash anymore, guys.
No, we're not.
Well, if you're enjoying this podcast, there's other great material on the GonnaGeek Network. In this week's edition of Walking the Walking Dead, the crew discusses Season 5, Episodes 14 and 15, Spin and Try. This episode was recorded in front of a live studio audience, so it features some great listener feedback questions. Where's the story going, and how will the group mess everything up? Listen to find out.
Wow, they really recorded that in front of wow, okay.
Yeah, their wife were in the room.
We've recorded in front of a live studio audience before.
Yeah, of like 3 people.
It's true.
Yeah,
Yep.
truth. And 2 dogs.
And my cat.
And 2 dogs. Yeah.
Yeah, my cat is here a lot of the times, too. We're recording in front of a live studio audience. Pshaw.
Of sorts.
So we were talking about how Will owns when he's wrong.
Yes.
We had several people comment this week about how shitty Will sounded last week, and that's because he forgot to plug in his microphone.
Usually I'm the shitty one.
Aren't you the guy working with these kind of things every day?
He, jumped out of his car and onto the podcast last week. Like a professional.
I did.
Except for the mic thing.
Well, in my defense, I don't hear myself.
Yeah.
So it's on you guys to tell me that I sounded like shit, to say, hey, is your mic plugged in? Because I thought it was plugged in.
Right.
And when you don't have your mic plugged in, of course, it defaults to your computer internal mic, which I was unaware of.
Yep.
So the fault lies with y'all two.
The fault is not in your stars, but in yourselves.
But we're not going to let that happen again. We've added some things to the pre-show checklist, so going forward...
Plugging your mic is one of them.
Yep. We try not to make the same mistakes too many times.
I know. I was in my car. I'm like, ooh, the podcast is up already. Let me listen to it. And also I'm like, Jesus Christ, I sound like shit.
I fixed as much as I could.
I know. You're lovely that way.
Yep. So on Twitter this week, we had the Dr. 1980s hit us up, and he said he just finished episode 20 of the cast, and he fully agrees with Nightwing. Please live comment on the Trickster episode from the 90s.
Somebody agrees with
I was
me?
gonna
Oh,
say,
wow.
Agreeing with Wing, that's a bold position to take.
Mr. Doctor, I hope you feel a little bit dirty now. I'm just saying.
But yes, it is on the list of episodes that we're going to do a live commentary on. And if you have more episodes that you think would be great for a commentary, let us know which ones, and we'll put them on the list.
You need to do the crossover again live. I'm just saying.
We could do that.
That'll be fun. We should have everybody on one podcast, so we only have to do it once and put them on both casts.
We should cross over again with Starling and live cast this show. That would be awesome. Ooh, putting it out there. Guys, I hope you're listening.
Just putting it out there, guys. Just putting it out there.
Jay, Neil, Chris, come on. And, of course,
That other guy.
Star Pie and...
Well, we had some voicemails this week, guys.
Woo!
Can't wait to hear.
So first up, we've got Coach Hill.
Let's hear it.
Love Coach Hill!
Coach, put me on the team, Coach.
Hey guys, Coach Hill here. Holy shit. What an episode. Who would have known that Wells isn't Wells? Glad they kind of filled that backstory in because it makes things make a lot more sense than what they would have had if they hadn't. So, super enjoyed the show, enjoying the show overall, and you guys are doing a great job, and holy shit, that's all I can say again. Talk to you guys later. Bye.
Oh, it's always great to hear from Coach.
Yeah. Then thank you for the great job on this show. I know, I'm great. I know.
Don't worry, he won't be here next week.
Damn it.
We'll have a wing-free cast next week.
Yeah, Wells isn't Wells.
I know.
Wells is not Wells. All is not well with Wells.
It makes the fact that he's called H.G. Wells a little less fun, but
Yeah.
I'm still going to take it.
But we don't know what his middle name is, so right now
No.
he's just H. Wells.
Okay,
Oh, he's George. Come on.
so Wells
You know,
has
yeah, it's
always
George.
been here. Why did Joe have such a hard time finding background on him?
Joe's not very good.
Oh, Joe's a crappy cop. Got it. That's why they had to bring Detective Pretty Boy in on this.
It's not to say that Wells also has skeletons in his closet of being Wells.
Yes, Wells skeleton in his closet. Yes.
I guess one of my other favorite lines was when they were talking about Wells, is the book that was written about Wells, and like you read the whole book and all you find out is that he's enigmatic.
Yes, that was a great
600
line.
pages.
Yeah.
How many different board he has on this thing? Because he has the one where he's investigating his mother. He has the one where he's investigating Wells. He has another one where it's just sciencey stuff. I'm like,
You remember those maps they had when you were in school? You know, and you flip the thing over and you pull down that one? That's what he's got set up in the lab.
I'm old. I drink. I forget. I don't remember.
You know, that's my line.
I know, and I just took over it because I love it so much.
Because I'm old, I drink, and there was something else. I can't remember what it was. Hey, did we get any other voicemails?
Yeah, our listener Adam called in.
Hey, it's Adam. I want at least one episode with Mark Hamill in it every season. Don't care about the other Trickster, just want the classic one. I kind of expected a Star Wars reference, but I didn't expect anything as blatant as I am your father. Cracked up when I heard it, so kind of random that Trickster knew that Barry's dad was in prison, especially since he'd been in solitary for the past several years. Harrison Eobard, I guess, kind of did tip his hand with talking about how Barry could feel the Speed Force flow through him. Another kind of nice reference that Barry heard Speed Force for the first time in an episode with Mark Hamill in it. It's nice that there was an original Harrison Wells, so that, say, if there are any timeline changes that stick at some point, they could have it change so that Harrison Wells survived, so Tom Cavanaugh can stay on the show. Can't wait to hear what you guys think. Talk to you later. Bye.
Black Adam always has good point. And yes, I did not make the Speed Force / Star Wars reference, but nice pull, sir.
I did earlier in this podcast.
Yeah, but Wing wasn't listening.
I don't listen to you.
All right, fine.
Good points.
He hit on some stuff we talked about. He's psychic.
He is psychic.
He's as astute when he watches the show as we are.
Yes, that's why we've had him on.
He's even astuter.
Ooh. We also got a comment from Star Saber, which is Adam. What I got out of Barry's deal with Cold at the end there was that he'd let him go this time, but he'd still go after him for anything else he did in the future. The difference is, Barry wouldn't put him in the pipeline like he threatened to do this time, as long as the rogues didn't go after his friend, family, or kill again.
Well, they have to bring this character in the shades of gray of like Catwoman style because that's what he becomes in the comic. At this point,
He becomes Catwoman?
Yes. No, but he becomes one of these bad character that's not necessarily bad, kind of good sometimes. The other thing I'm wondering is when are they going to get their actual powers? Because at some point they fuse with their gun. So I hope they're going to bring that into the show at some point. Because
probably the same time that there's another particle accelerator accident to create Wally West Flash.
Oh, good point. So 2020?
Whenever that is. 2016, maybe.
Maybe.
That particle accelerator really has to get tested by the FCC.
Why would you put that in the middle of a city? You put that in the middle of the freaking desert.
I see a lot of really poor planning here.
I mean, he put it in the middle of the city because he's a supervillain, so...
No, because when he's talking about test before it becomes Star Labs, he wants to build it in the middle of the city, being the beacon of light.
Well...
They need access to the power grid.
Yeah, okay, good.
It's the same reason they put all the nuclear power plants right next to cities.
Other great idea. Okay.
Yep.
That's what you have to do. You know what else you have to do?
What?
Go to Geekation.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
Go see the Cubs lose again?
Yeah.
Shut up!
May 15th to the 17th, we're all going to Chicago, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It'll be a lot of fun. There's going to be watches, like we're going to watch shows, we're going to travel around, we're going to drink a lot. That'll be lots of fun.
Yeah, we'll drink a lot. You don't have to if you don't want to, but we will.
Yeah, we will.
We don't drink.
We talk a lot, and we're going to record a podcast there as well. Probably
a few podcasts will get recorded there.
Probably a few.
And you could see this train wreck in person.
You might get to hear me Skyping for one of those.
Well, hopefully. Your Skype is not running away. Come on.
You know what? If you go to Geekation, you'll get to see us in full-on smell-o-vision.
I take showers, sir. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you'll have to if you drink with Will.
Yeah.
Oh, dear God. Yeah. I remember why he's called Rum Daddy now, because I remember being in Vegas last year Geekation, and Will just pouring rum in front of both of us, actually, Haley, like for an afternoon.
Really good rum.
Really freaking good rum.
Really good rum. We went on a little rum crawl down the city.
People looking for us, not finding us. Where are you guys? Oh, we stopped at this place. We're drinking rum.
Keep up, guys.
A rum crawl is when you're too drunk to stand and you just have to crawl home.
Crawl to the hotel. Get it right. Crawl to the hotel.
Yeah.
I think we took a bus.
Well, we had to take a bus after a while.
I don't remember because we drank and I'm old.
And you know what makes this worse is that Chicago is my old stomping ground, so I know all the good watering holes.
Ooh.
And, you know, it's not just about drinking, so we don't want to throw that out there. It's also about enjoying the culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we'll go out to do things like museums and ball games and that kind of stuff, and we'll stay in at the hotel and do things like board games and Cards Against Humanity and just the kind of geeky chats you hear on all the GonnaGeek podcasts. Those will be happening in person.
But with a lot of people and people you could share things with.
And you know when you yell at your iPod or whatever when you're listening to the cast? Well, you could do that in person and we'll actually hear you.
Just scream at us, what the fuck?
Idiots, don't you know who Grodd is?
Oh, I miss Grodd. I mean, this episode was so good that I didn't miss Grodd.
Until right now.
Now you know.
I'm going to dig on the episode on one thing. The stinger at the end of this one was not as great as all the other one did. But the rest of the episode was awesome.
Oh, you guys realize it must have been Tuesday again because Iris was making dinner.
Yep.
It's Tuesday.
Fair point.
Everything happens on a Tuesday.
Yep.
She's dumb, but she makes great food.
And 3.67 million people watched this episode on Tuesday.
Oh, so they're back. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Why are they taking a break now?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Ask Gotham why they've been off the air for 2 months.
Yeah. What's about that? I don't get that. They're going to have trouble getting back on their horse at this point because...
Yeah, they're going to have trouble getting viewers back because at this point, it's like, I forgot what even happened.
Yeah, Monday is Better Call Saul Day now.
Yep.
They lost me there, but no, they didn't lost me. It's Gotham.
It's Gotham. We'll still watch it.
Gotham, I think they really wanted to stretch it out so they could have something during May sweeps, because they just weren't going to make it if they kept airing episodes. Because they started so early in January, they came back.
And I know I might not have the most popular view of this show, but I love this show. I really like Gotham.
I really enjoy it.
I like a lot of parts of the show. I just feel like it's got more potential than it's realized.
Yeah, it does. The bones are there for good storytelling. It's just they need to work on it a bit.
It's going to be a next-gen thing. I mean, Season 2 is going to be way better.
I feel like it's going to take off in Season 2. And people are going to go back and watch Season 1 and remember, oh, that's where that started. It got so good.
Yeah.
And people tend to forget because Flash Season 1 is so good, but the first season of Arrow was kind of iffy.
Yeah.
It was like a sociopath serial killer for a while before he became a hero.
Yeah, but I kind of like that about him.
You like sociopath serial killers. Of course
do.
you do. You're on small
really
screen.
Of course.
They make the best villains.
Mm-hmm.
Yes!
Okay, come on. Villains are always so much more interesting than the heroes.
Well, yeah.
Well,
Always.
yeah.
And you ask any actor, and they prefer playing the villain because they get to have a lot more fun with it.
Or you're Mark Hamill and you're like one of the greatest heroes of all time, but you play villains everywhere else.
You know what? His villain is much more interesting than when he plays a hero.
Oh, come on. Luke Skywalker is great.
Luke Skywalker
is a whiny little bitch.
Thank you. I mean, I love Luke, but he is a whiny little bitch, especially in A New Hope.
Han Solo's where it's at.
Right? Because he's a scoundrel.
He shot first.
Lovable rogue.
The guy can crash a plane like nobody else. I'm just saying.
All right, let's talk about this news.
Right? So we've been talking about the Arrow Flash spin-off series that's supposed to be coming up after Supergirl. They haven't really announced when it's going to be coming out.
So is it Adam, or is Adam part of this?
Adam is
Of
one
the
of
collection.
many characters
Yeah.
that are going to be on this show.
Right.
It's an ensemble piece.
Yeah, I want to call it Justice Society, but it could be Brave and the Bold.
Yeah,
too.
it doesn't have a name yet. We don't know what it's going to be called. We don't know when it's coming out, but we know some more casting.
It's going to be the DC Superhero Variety Hour.
Oh, dear God, please
with
don't.
ice skaters and musical numbers.
Oh, musical numbers. We need to get Lobster on that show.
That's right. I love that they're building this show around characters and not with any type of like, oh, we're going to do Green Arrow. Oh, we're going to do a show about Flash. It's like, we're going to take this awesome universe that we've created and these awesome characters that we've created and just make a show work around them and not be like, it's going to be an adaptation of this or that.
My only problem right now is that DC is going to hug all my TV watching time next year because there's going to be Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Teen Titan, this Justice Society show. I mean,
Gotham, Krypton.
Well, and everything that they're doing is in like direct competition now with the DC movie universe that they're building, like Suicide Squad and all of that they're putting together, Batman versus Superman and Justice League. And don't forget, they're going to make their own Flash at some point.
I'm still thinking they're going to go Wally West at this point.
I thought they'd already announced that it's going to be Barry.
No, they already,
Yeah.
it's Barry. They already announced it's Barry.
Yeah, but the word is that they don't have a script. So
They don't have a script, and the TV Flash is so much better. By the time they get to do the movie, everything that they could cover will have been covered on the show. Like, the origin story is going to be covered, like, multiple times. Like, everything is going to be covered.
Yeah.
They're doing Grodd. They're doing the Reverse Flash. What the hell could they do on
They've got the
movie?
Rogues. I mean,
Yeah, they've got the Rogues going.
what else is
like,
left?
Like, nobody's going to go see the Flash movie because... Well, I mean, I know people will go see it, but, like, it's not going to be original. Like, you'll have seen it before on the TV show.
Do you really think the DC movie slate is going to get that far?
No.
Yeah, that's 2018.
But, you know, this kind of worries me a little bit for our show, for The Flash. They've already covered all the really great things. Where do they have to go in season 2,
Oh,
3,
they have
4,
so
5?
many places they can go.
I don't know. Ailey, haven't you read like 40 years of Flash yet?
No, I haven't gotten to the Flash yet.
Will, remember when we were making your head spin like 20 minutes ago about all the like speedsters and stuff that they could bring in?
True dat.
I mean,
Yeah.
Are we going to see Caitlin become Killer Frost? Are we going to see Cisco become Vibe?
And he
Like,
hasn't even really faced Grodd yet.
Yeah.
True.
Like Grodd, they've only hinted at Grodd.
There's so much stuff they could do.
At this point, I think the Reverse Flash is building the Rogue because remember when he saw Grodd and was like, I take care of my own.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's, yeah.
I can't wait for the Prison
guys,
Break episode.
Guys, so good.
Okay,
but the news.
The news that we
fucking
were trying to
news,
talk about.
The casting.
They have cast a Hawkgirl for the Arrow Flash spinoff. It's going to be played by Ciara Renee, who hasn't done a whole lot yet. So,
but she's very attractive.
Well, yeah.
Hamill had not done a lot before he did Arrow, and that worked, so I'm good with this. I mean, again, Hamill was very attractive, and that's why they cast him, and now he's a pretty good actor, so.
Yeah.
He's gotten better, because if you watch season 1, he was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
But pretty to look at.
He's pretty. When he does the salmon ladder, everybody goes like...
Yeah, I recently, I think I mentioned this before, I recently rewatched the first few episodes with my cousin because she'd never seen it before. Oh my gosh, you saw so much of his abs in the first season. So much more than we see now.
Yeah, I've rewatched season 1 with somebody that haven't seen it. She was like, oh, he's so dreamy. I'm like, shut up.
Well, more casting news. Arthur Darvill is going to be in the series as well. He's going to be playing a character named Rip Hunter.
The guy from Doctor Who's going to do a time travel character?
Yeah.
Yep.
Shocking.
Yes.
Go figure.
Kermit arm flail.
Do you think we'll see him bulk up for the role? Because Rip Hunter is kind of like,
Ripped?
as his name suggests, yes,
A little
rather
ripped.
ripped.
You know what? I hope so. On the other end, that's perfect casting. When they announced that, I was like, yes, that's Tony Stark casting. This is perfect.
Rip Hunter is almost as comic booky of a name as Lance Hunter.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Yep.
Rip Hunter, Tie Master.
Well, the guy who plays Lance Hunter, his real name is Nick Blood,
Which is also super
a
comic
comic
booky.
book name. Nick Blood.
I wish I had a comic book name.
You do, Nightwing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I'm John D. Wing. That's not bad. That's actually not bad.
John DeWing.
Doing.
Doing?
Doing. Oh, I love that. At least I'm not the GonnaGeek Network pimp.
No, you're the whore.
Yes! I can live with that. I can totally live with that.
You're not the GonnaGeek Network pimp. You're the whore.
And I'm gonna hone it. Come on.
Aha!
No, you own it. You don't hone it. You own it.
What would Mama Rum Daddy say about Wing?
She's a whore. He's a whore. Hey.
I like Mama Rum Daddy.
She doesn't come by very often, but when she
No,
does.
she doesn't. When she does.
Rum Mommy.
That Wing, he's a whore.
I'm a podcast whore. What can I say?
You know what I think is great, and I don't want to go off because we'll talk about this for a while, but this whole podcast and everything, we've never talked about the Tricksters outfit from the 90s.
Oh, that's
wow.
true.
And how would you describe that, Will?
Like a headache? I don't know.
Like a clown threw up.
Yeah, like
Like a clown through.
like spandex should never do that. I don't know. Like those colors, even though this took place in the 90s, that's very much an 80s outfit.
Yeah.
That's like straight from the 80s. Early 80s.
One of the articles I read described it as an 80s hangover.
That's
Oh my
perfect.
God. It's like you went to Studio 54 in New York and you woke up 10 years later and go, what the fuck?
I'm sure that actually happens to some people.
But the picture that we're going to post from it, the Flash is wearing the Trickster's boots. If you look at it,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
The Trickster's suit is really bad, though. Let's be honest. It's really, really bad.
It's like, even at that time, how could Mark Hamill possibly go, yeah, I'll wear that?
No shame.
Mark Hamill is a big nerd.
Yeah, he's a big nerd, but that doesn't mean that he's like, I mean, you can still be a big nerd and not wear that suit. I mean, come on. Even at that time, nobody would wear that.
Have you seen his only director credit is the really, really bad movie called Comic Book the Movie?
No.
Then don't. It's 2 hours and 30 minutes of them creating a fake comic book character and trying to get the movie produced and going at cons and stuff like that. It's so bad. But you see how big of a nerd he is.
Yes.
So if you're looking for more great content on the GonnaGeek Network, you can check out Legends of S.H.I.E.L.D. This week they're pleased as punch over the Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode One Door Closes. Don't miss their take on how the show turned Battlestar Galactica in just 1 week and other thought-provoking show sites, plus a recap of the week in Marvel news and listener voicemails. All right, guys, what have we learned this week?
I've learned that Breaking Bad Season 5 is a masterpiece.
I've learned that it's worth killing a few guards just so you can watch Breaking Bad.
I've learned that unfortunately, everyone has lost their faith in the Cubbies. Sadness.
No, that's just the truth, dude. That's just the
I
truth.
know.
And I learned that Iris just wants Flash to take it off.
I've also learned that if you take a laptop, it can go on the internet at the same speed as the Speed Force.
Well, yeah.
I'm telling you, stuff that he touches.
Probably, because he opened the thing and it's already on YouTube and it's already playing exactly what he wants. I'm like, dude, you might be fast, but the internet connection in your city sucks. No.
This has been Crimson Comet, episode 21. Join us next week as we discuss The Flash, season 1, episode 18, All-Star Team Up. Until then, I'm Haley.
I'm Lobster.
I'm Rum Daddy.
And I'm Wing. Thank you for having me.
Bye.
See ya.
Later.
I'll see you when I see you.
Thanks for listening. If you want to leave us feedback, you can find all of our contact information at crimsoncometpodcast.com. Find us on Twitter at Crimson Podcast or Facebook at facebook.com/Crimson Comet Podcast. Leave us a voicemail at 423-FLASH53. That's 423-352-7453. The opinions heard on this podcast are those of the individual host and do not represent GonnaGeek. The podcast is not affiliated with DC Comics, Warner Brothers, or the CW. No infringement is intended. The music heard is by Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com.
When are we going to start? I might need more coffee. It's early here. It's like 11 o'clock.
Yeah, it's earlier for everybody else.
It's earlier for me, bastards.
Look, it's not earlier for Wing. It's the same time there.
Yeah, it's the same time, you and me. We're in the real time zone.
Go fuck yourself, guys.
I tried. It's really hard.
I am staying out of this one.
I would make a really bad gay man. Looks like. Okay. Is there a porn version of The Flash? I want to see that. He's the fastest man alive.
The Flasher. It's the Flasher. He just runs around exposing himself.
He's the fastest man alive. It's a 30-second porn. That's it.
Aw. That's disappointing.
And he's done.
But he does that thing where he can vibrate, so...
Oh, the man is a human vibrator. That's great. He's really good with it with his hands. Just saying.